I want you to listen very carefully. It all starts with miracli. Here in the spirit world, it's what makes us faster and stronger. Too slow! Too jagged slow! The power is in me. I only have to tap into it. How do you know? I travel these lands alone and have a lot of time to think. You'll have many questions as you travel, but it's best to simply start your journey. After all, if you wait until you know everything, you might as well plan to stay at home. He is not like us, Christopher. He does not lie. He does not change. He is worthy of your trust. And while you still live, you can always make that choice. You gotta pay more attention to the things I'm trying to tell you.
All right, now give me just more or less, and a little bit more like recognizing almost the absurdity of the simplicity, because right before that, Chris kind of looks at you, and I'm going to try and convey this in my delivery, but he just looks at you in a way as if to say, "Are you kidding me? I mean, that's it," mm-hmm. And so I think there's kind of there's a humor to the absurdity of the simplicity, mm-hmm. In one sense of the journey that Chris is about to go on it.
Okay, got sirens going now too.
We do. Hang on. Just let them pass.
They're looking for me again.
Holly and I used to play this game when we were dating.
That's personal, though.
No. It was, but it was triggered by sirens. We always said, if there were sirens and you were a superhero, and you had to come up with an excuse to get away so you could change, because Clark Kent always had to come up with something like,
right.
"Oh, I feel faint," or whatever,
right, Right.
So what would your excuse be? And we had to come up with a new one every single time. So it would be sirens, and the first one of us that would hear the sirens would look at the other and say, "What would you do?" And then, the other person, would go, "Oh man, something's not sitting right with me from dinner."
You gotta pull over right now.
Yeah. So yeah, it was we called it "What Would You Do?" The superhero game. All right. So sirens are gone. So more or less, just kind of recognizing the almost absurdity of the situation.
All right. Well, more or less.
Good again.
More or less.
Put a little a smirk or a half chuckle or something, before it.
Before it. Yep. More or less.
Let's see here. Okay, so now we're on. Chris has just kind of talked about his wife and kids and his, problems at home, and Vanger responds, still pretty soft and serious right here.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you must go on without them?
Let's change "must" to "have to."
Thank you. I was just going to do that.
Yeah, I'm changing all the musts to something else, usually "have to." What the crap are you doing over there? I just heard all this scribbling in the headset. I was like, what the crap? I just said...
That'd be cool.
All right, when you're ready. Oh, hang on. All right, go ahead.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Great, again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
I want to get a sense that you're more sympathetic to his pain.
Okay.
So give me like an exhale or something before starting that line. Just just kind of feel that with him.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Good. Again, keep sympathizing with him more if you can.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Give me one where you you exhale, and either at the tail of the exhale or sometime in it, you kind of talk through the exhale a little bit.
Okay.
You know what I'm
That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Yeah, I think that's getting closer. Do that again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Good. Put slightly more emphasis on the word here, if you would, please.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Try this for me. Just say this into the microphone. Boy, that's a bummer, man.
Boy, that's a bummer, man.
Yeah, say it again.
That would make me laugh.
You're not going to say that. That's not going to be your line.
That's a bummer, man. That's a bummer, man.
Now say it with that kind of that exhale that we were using before.
That's a bummer, man.
Now see if you can capture some of that inflection and that kind of mentality with the line, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Good, again.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Good, and give it to me again, a little more emphasis on hear that.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Good. All right, now try some different inflection. It's a whole different kind of inflection pattern. Still down there, still down and you know, bummed, but just some kind of different inflection pattern.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
I really like that. Do that again.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that was the old one.
That was the old one. I'm sorry to hear that.
You went before. You said, I'm sorry to hear that. That's what I got that one take.
I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
Good. Now use that inflection and go into it with an exhale.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. But you realize, don't you, that you have to go on without them?
That was money. Do it one more time, just like that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That didn't.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Great. One more.
The storm is coming. You'd best be on your way.
And now give me just the storm is coming, lower in your voice.
The storm is coming. The storm is coming.
Give me the whole thing with that tone of voice.
The storm is coming. You'd best be on your way.
Good, again.
The storm is coming. You'd best be on your way.
A brief guest appearance by Vincent Craft.
The storm is coming.
Yeah. Okay.